Hi, this is Life Lessons of a Military Wife in Belgium, and today I got my package from Military One Source. You can order books from them for free. If you are a military family, there's a certain limit per year on how many you can order, and I will show you how to do that, but let's see what they put in the box. Alright, so plenty of paper, and then they have a packing receipt. Okay. I don't even remember what I ordered. Let's see. Here's a book. Help, I'm a military spouse. I get a life too. How to craft a life for you as you move with the military. So, brand new paperback book. And they have a lot of nonfiction book selections. In fact, on the Military One Source website, most of them are nonfiction. But they do have some fiction. New York Times bestseller from Toni Morrison, A Mercy. Okay, everyone knows this one, Water for Elephants, of course. Heroes at Home, Help and Hope for America's Military Families. This one I really didn't want to get, but I think it's important to know, especially, you know, I get a lot of emails from people and grieving mindfully, and it's I think, you know, I needed to learn some stuff about this subject, even for your own losses in your own family, showing you how to deal with grief. Always good to have the latest job book in your library. So, Acing the Interview. Again, I'm always up for learning new things, so I thought I would get that. How Your House Works. Isn't that a cool book? Look at that. Is that a toilet? Oh. Sink and a hot water heater. Look at this. Visual guide to understanding and maintaining your home. So, lots of pictures showing you how your home is put together, how it works. That's pretty cool. I guess for those of us not so mechanically inclined. And then I wanted to try this one thing. It's called a Play Away book. Wow, this one looks like it went through the ringer here. But it comes like in a little package. Have you ever seen anything like this? Play Away. And oh my goodness, look at this. It has the controls on here. So I guess the book is inside here. There's even a set of headphones and a little lanyard. So I guess, I don't know, you put it around your neck and you listen to it, and isn't that a little interesting thing? And I guess here's the book cover. So what did I get? Kathy Ireland, isn't she that, what is it? Not Walmart, but, is it Walmart? No, Kmart, right? Has that clothing line at Kmart. So, Real Solutions for Busy Moms. I didn't even know she was a writer. Well, I think the ice cream man's coming, but we're not going to get any ice cream. Every time he comes, we kind of hide in the house. I don't want him to think, you know, we live on a little side street kind of away from everything. And he doesn't have like the real ice cream. You know, the homemade stuff that you can get at the, you know, the nice ice cream place. He just sells like the regular popsicles. Oh God, here he comes. I can get that at the grocery store. I'm not buying that from the ice cream man. Let's see, I did get an email question from someone who, I guess, gets my blog emailed to them, because I don't think I have my email address, I guess not, I don't know, on my blog anymore. But they had a question about finding housing off post. They were just, let me read it again. I guess they haven't arrived yet. And they wanted to know, how in the world do you narrow stuff down? You know, they obviously know how many people they have in their family, and how do they narrow it down, and why do I take this house over the next house? And, I mean, coming over here, I mean, if you're going to live off post, if you're going to be looking at housing off post, and you can see anything from a few homes to, my God, I know people who've looked at 20, 40, I think the highest I've ever seen anybody look at least that who I know personally, they looked at 40 homes. I don't know how you keep track of all that. I think online, if you look, you might be able to find some charts where you can put like the features of each home just to highlight so you can just remember. And I know what I did, we only looked at, was it 6? Something like that. And I just took pictures. So I took pictures of all the highlights, not so much just to see what it looked like, but just so I could remember what house had what. And you know, after a while they all start looking confusing, and you know, you're going to be looking at houses in your price range. You get a certain amount of money depending on your husband's rank, and if they're here with dependents, that all comes into play. And you can look that up on my blog on the right hand side. I have an OHA calculator, Overseas Housing Allowance, so you can put in the zip code for the place you're going to be. Just pick, I mean, I know all the bases are, each base may have a different zip code if they don't have a consolidated mail room. A lot of them have consolidated mail rooms where all the mail comes into one place. But just pick a zip code from the military community where you're going to be, and that way you have a good idea of what you have to work with, what rent ranges that you have to work with when you're looking at houses. And I would personally only look at houses that are in that range. You know, you can get in real trouble. You don't want to be digging in your pocket and paying extra money, too much money. People always say, oh, if I find the perfect house, I don't care if it's a few $100 more, and well, times that by 36 months, you know, that can get too expensive very quickly, and you may regret it, even though it may be a beautiful house, even maybe not. You know, you really want to try to look within your price range. Granted, if your husband's or spouse is going to get promoted anytime soon, you can maybe bump it up a little bit if you pretty much know. But otherwise, I would just be on the safe side, especially if you've never been in Europe and you don't know, you know, utilities are more expensive. You get money for that too, but just to get a better feel of things. And how I prioritized it, I mean, we kind of know, okay, how many bedrooms. Okay, so we have 2 kids, so we were looking at anything from a 3-bedroom to a 5-bedroom. You know, one thing we always wanted was 2 bathrooms. I'm not saying it's, well, I was going to say it's not a necessity, but in our family, you don't know my husband, and 2 boys, and we kind of needed 2 toilets. Some European houses just have 1. And when you see the listed housing that lists all the housing, some of them may say 1 bathroom, but you know what? We looked at every single one, even though it said 1 bathroom, or if the house was butt ugly, or if it said it was right by the railroad tracks, or right by, I don't know, the dog food factory, whatever. We looked at everything because a lot of times that stuff was just wrong, and we would have missed out on some good choices. So look at everything. I don't care what the square footage is. You'll get a better feel once you go there. The big thing is distance from work. We had a chance for a absolutely beautiful chateau, someone we knew, but it would have been 45 minutes away from here. So friends of ours who own a chateau, and we could have stayed there. They were getting ready to move. But you know what? 45 minutes back and forth, and the kids in school, and multiple trips if they're going to do sports. No. So the closer you can get to Post, the better. Obviously, the stuff that's closer is going to be more expensive. The landlords have all figured that out. They know what us American or NATO military people get. Germany too. I'm not just talking Belgium here. It's kind of across the board. They know what the housing allowances are. And even though the housing office tries to keep them in check, they know what you're authorized. So keep that in mind. Distance to work, and also the traffic situation during rush hour. I mean, if you're going to be living by the airport, then, you know, rush hour could be ugly. Are there any back ways? Are there any alternate routes? Drive during those time frames. Is the house energy efficient? A big thing in Belgium I noticed is a lot of the homes that fall under the housing office have double pane windows. I didn't realize it, but it makes an absolute phenomenal difference in your utility bill. I have friends who still have some of the homes with single pane windows, and they easily pay, I don't want to say twice as much, but a whole lot more than the rest of us with double pane windows. So if you can, try to get the double pane windows. Very important, energy efficient. I mean, I had a friend who looked at a house that had holes up in the rafters, which they were able to get fixed. They got it written into their contract. And you can get things written into your contract. Sometimes the rent will be bumped up, but if it's still within the range, and you know, the housing office people, they'll help you negotiate that stuff, especially in the foreign language. You're going to be dealing with a landlord that doesn't speak English a lot of the time, and they try to be a go-between, try to protect you, get the right things written into the contract. Speaking of landlord, you want to have a good landlord. You can sometimes ask the housing office, you know, is there anything in that file in that house, especially if it's been rented through the housing office before? Were there problems? You need to ask, you need to be proactive and ask questions, because they're not going to tell you. They're just not going to tell you. You want to know what went on in the past. Did the landlord come when you call when there's a problem? Ours, I mean, he lives on Pluto or something. I don't know. It does take him forever to get here, and I sometimes wonder if there's ever an emergency around here. God help us. I don't know. I mean, he does eventually respond, and in Belgium, you have to remember, things are just ungodly slow. In Germany, a lot more efficient. But just know that. And, you know, again, great if the landlord speaks English. If you get a chance to talk to the people who were in there before you, let's say you actually go see the house while they're still in there, how ideal is that? Security system here in Belgium. I think all the houses that are in the housing system have to have a security system, outdoor lighting, that kind of thing. Theft deterrent, you know, doors, double core, or whatever kind of doors, solid doors, things like that. A definite plus to have a security system. What is your bathroom situation? We kind of already talked about. What will you, I don't want to say put up with. Some people, they're just fine. Remember in the old days when people had, like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids, and they all shared a bathroom? They all made it work somehow. So maybe we're spoiled, but typical for here, you have a shared bath upstairs somewhere with bathtub and shower sometimes. They're usually separate. And then you have like really a water closet, because it is the size of a closet, downstairs with just a toilet in it. You will find some homes that have more than that, 2 full baths, but it's nice to have that guest toilet. Storage, is there a garage? Is there a storage shed? So you want to know what the storage situation is. Is there a basement? Can you put stuff in the basement? Does the basement flood? And I would just prioritize, what is more important to you? Is a garage more important to you, or is having a big oven more important to you? Or storage space? Do you have a bunch of bikes? Do you have outdoor equipment? Do you want to mow a yard that is an acre big? A lot of times you can get the landlord to write that into your contract, where he'll do the yard maintenance, and in that case, you know, it'll cost you extra money. Do you have a riding mower? Some people do come over here with riding mowers. You know, what are you willing to do, that kind of thing. So I would prioritize that stuff, and I'll talk more about that housing stuff later. There are a whole host of other things you should be thinking about, but those are the top ones, I think, that would be on my list. And again, take pictures, write down, because you're just not going to remember. I mean, even if you look at 3 houses, you're not going to remember. Okay? And I think that's all I'm going to cover today. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Let me see what my son wants. I think he wants something in the kitchen. And thanks again. And come visit us at Life Lessons of a Military Wife, and also Real Military Wives TV. If you want to do a video, come join us.